And welcome to the Citizen Report. I'm Jonathan Shannon, and thank you for joining me here from Fort Mill, South Carolina today. This is a special bulletin of the Citizen Report because some breaking news just happened today. And that breaking news is Gaston County Commissioner Tracy Philbeck has issued an order of sorts, basically an official statement of dissent, if you will. Those are my words. Basically, in more or less saying that if you want to reopen your business in Gaston County, North Carolina, you may do so with the support of Gaston County. Now, I want to read to you something that the commissioner put on Facebook, and this kind of captures the essence of this order here. This is what he said about 2 hours ago in a Facebook post. And again, this is Gaston County Commissioner Tracy Philbeck, quote, "I will continue to defy the governor's order and support any business or house of worship that wants to open. Gaston County is open for business, and the only thing that stands in the way is Governor Cooper and weak-knee public officials. Neither hospital capacity nor the data supports a government shutdown. You know where I stand. Hashtag reopen Gaston County." Now, personally, of course, I live in Gaston County, North Carolina. To be exact, I live in the city of Gastonia, and I think this is excellent news. I think that Governor Cooper has overreached his power, and I think that we'll have to see how the governor responds. Now, he's made initial responses calling it, basically himself denouncing it and all that stuff. But so far, Governor Cooper hasn't really done anything to put basically teeth to his statements, if you will. So at this point, the Gaston County declaration or order, whatever it's considered to be, and again, this is official statement. This is not just, and what I read to you was just what Tracy Philbeck personally said on Facebook. But there is a document that he signed in the capacity of commissioner of Gaston County, and with the embossed seal and everything. And obviously, if you are in Gaston County, although technically the order itself, or I should say, well, whether if it's an order or not, it's basic. We'll just say it is an order for purposes of simplicity in Gaston County, and it may very well be an order. But that said order from Gaston County doesn't outright denounce the state order, stay-at-home order, that goes through currently, as it stands right now, through May 8th. It allows that to stand in the county. However, it basically supports any business that wishes to reopen, and it apparently also places of worship. And I just want to say that I support what Tracy Philbeck is doing for Gaston County, and I'm grateful that our county is leading this charge, and we are as of now the only county that I know of to officially denounce the governor's statewide order. And we'll have to see how this all plays out. But I find it interesting that the governor has yet to really do anything of substance to really to come back at Gaston County beyond just publicly rebuking it and stuff like that. And of course, that's kind of typical of Governor Cooper. He's just really just a complete whatever he does for the state is just ridiculous. And we have a chance this fall to vote him out of office, and let's hope we can do that. And just very briefly before I wrap it up here, I am going to try to keep this short. After all, this is a special bulletin. But of course, just to remind you, the stay-at-home order for the state of North Carolina remains in effect through May 8th at this time. And that can, of course, change, but that's as it stands at this moment, anyway. And this order from Gaston County government basically is standing in unison in support of any business that wishes to reopen. And case in point, I was listening to the talk radio, and I haven't done any personal research into this, but according to the talk radio, basically the commissioner cited a bakery that's having to move out tomorrow because her operating, or I should say her revenue, has just plummeted, and she's got, among other things, rent to pay, and it's just tragic. And I think that the governor is shamelessly continuing onward with this order without rhyme or reason. And again, just because you have an emergency going on, your constitutional rights don't get suspended. And wherever there has to be a temporary, for lack of a better word, hindrance of a constitutional right, it is supposed to be, using the phrase here, narrowly tailored, which means you don't get to just usurp rights left and right. You have to narrowly tailor specific to the actual thing. And even at that, there is no circumstance that you can ever usurp a right. Never. Because rights, they pre-exist the government. They, the founding fathers recognized it as basically given by God. They're inherent rights. And Governor Cooper, and every government official is required by law to take an oath to the Constitution, which, among other things, it is a document to preserve our rights. You don't get to just take that away when you want to, or think you have some right. The irony of that, to think you have some kind of right to usurp other people's rights is so ironic. It really is. And I think this is wonderful to see the Gaston County do this. And we'll have to see how this all plays out. Very briefly, and of course, we'll have full coverage of this coming up this weekend. We're also going to be talking about weather. We're also going to be talking about Tegna. And boy, have there been developments with both. And we'll be talking about that. And of course, as I just said, what just happened in Gaston County, North Carolina, and also North Carolina in general. I think that we're on the up and up here. In terms of things are starting to reopen here in South Carolina, where I'm at this moment. They have been reopening things, and I think that things, as I said, are on the up and up, and I think everything's going to be improving. But of course, there's the damage that's been done to businesses that are small businesses. And it's just really unfortunate. And I hope that if there's one thing that this country has learned, it's that we cannot ever do this again. We cannot shut down. We've never shut down for pandemics on this kind of scale. It's just never been done like this. And I think history books, when they're written, they're going to judge these stay-at-home orders really harshly, because there's just no rhyme or reason to it. And on that note, and of course, rights can't be usurped anyway, but they're trying to anyway. And you got Mayor de Blasio threatening to go arrest people, Jews, people of the Jewish faith. And I don't agree with the Jewish faith, but you cannot say you're going to go arrest them because they get together. You just can't do that. And yet you have Mayor Bill de Blasio doing that, and I think it's absolutely insane what the New York mayor has been quoted as saying himself on Twitter. So we'll have to see how all of this plays out. And on that note, I am going to go ahead and wrap this up before this gets any too much longer. Thank you for tuning in to the Citizen Report Special Bulletin. I'm Jonathan Shannon. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at the Jonathan News. I'm also on Facebook, Jonathan Shannon. Look for my profile pic. And you can find me on YouTube under my full name, Jonathan Ryan Shannon. And don't forget our website as well, thecitizenreport.weebly.com. And on that note, I will see you again this weekend on the full broadcast. Hope you tune in for that. And on that note, I hope you have a good rest of your day and a great rest of your week.
The Citizen Report is a production of New Shannon Media. All content protected under copyright.